So I said to my psychiatrist, I'm fixed. I'm done. I don't need you anymore. And then he looked at me, and what he said back to me, oh my God, I'm going to talk about that right now. Stand by. Hey there, I am Dr. Dave, and welcome back to Microdose U. As you know, on my channel here, I speak a lot about microdosing, magic mushrooms, psilocybin, because that is basically what has taken me out of this crazy funk that I had been in for many years called anxiety, depression, PTSD, and a lot more. So about close to a year and a half, it's bordering on a year and a half ago or so, I was just getting so fed up with the way I was feeling, and I was in psychotherapy with my psychiatrist, and it was all due to just some really crazy stuff going on, such as anxiety and depression and PTSD and insomnia and just a lot more and craziness. And I was going through talk therapy. Well, in my opinion, talk therapy either does not work or it's so slow that it would take like decades and decades to really see some progress. Now, I know everybody's different, and some people maybe get results from talk therapy very quickly. I've been in talk therapy on and off for my entire life, and other than it being kind of like a way to go in and just talk to somebody that has no judgment or anything like that, it just, to me, it never seemed super helpful at all. It didn't really help my anxiety or depression or anything like that. It just was a way to speak about it. So back about a year and a half ago or close to it, when I said to my psychiatrist, I really believe I want to try microdosing magic mushrooms. I was on Lexapro at the time, which is an antidepressant, of course, an SSRI. And I said, but I want your opinion. What do you think? And he said, absolutely. He said, I've got patients that use them that have had great results, and it's worth a try. That's what he said. It's definitely worth a try. So I did, and I started off not knowing anything at all about magic mushrooms. I just didn't know anything about that world whatsoever. And if you want to check back, if you want to know more about how you can do it if you want, this is not medical advice at all, but I did do a video. I've got a bunch of videos on this stuff on this channel, but I did one recently that is called The Absolute Beginner's Guide to Microdosing Magic Mushrooms, because I've had so many questions from people from the start. How do I do it? What dose do I take? And I answer all the questions. So I just want to throw that your way in case you have any questions. So I started microdosing, and after a short amount of time, I was able to get off some of my, well, actually all of my blood pressure medication. My blood pressure went down totally to normal levels. It was actually starting to go too low, so that's when I knew it was time to get off my blood pressure medication. I got off of anti-anxiety, and I was still on my Lexapro, but after a period of time, I decided to start going down to a lower dose and a lower dose. But recently, I totally got off of my Lexapro. I'm not taking any medication whatsoever now. And I'm not taking any pharmaceutical medication for my things that I was going through, such as the anxiety, depression, etc. About a very short time ago, like within a week or two ago, I went into my psychiatrist for a regular appointment, and I sat down. I felt fantastic. I felt better than I have in my entire life. And I said, guess what, doctor? I'm totally done. I am fixed. I feel better than I ever have, than I can remember in decades. And he looked right back at me and said, David, congratulations. I am so happy for you. He said I was able to accomplish in several short months, which was a year or so, several short months, what it normally takes people decades to go through with talk therapy. But I told him, I said, I feel totally at peace now. I don't have any anxiety. My depression I just don't feel it anymore. A lot of the things that I experienced PTSD from, and no, I'm not military, but it was from a really, really rough first marriage. And those feelings just melted away. The magic mushrooms reset my brain in some way. I don't understand the exact physiology. Some people might, but it's being studied a lot right now, so I don't know if anybody has the exact answer. But all I can say is I don't have to understand exactly how it worked. I don't need to know exactly the physiology, because I know it worked. In no uncertain terms, this has been the most significant thing I've ever done in my life as far as my mental health. And I only wish I would have known about this decades ago, because I would not have had to go through some of the real hell that I went through in my life. Had I known about this, my whole life would probably be different. I've got no complaints about my life right now, because where I am right now, I am 100% super happy, and I would not want to have it any other way. But again, I had to pay dearly in time, in relationships, in things that I did not want to do, and things that might have been really bad for me. I paid dearly there, and it took quite some time to reset my brain from a lot of the trauma that I had, in my past life, meaning my earlier life, my younger self life. So I no longer need any visits with my psychiatrist. I'm going to go in and see him every 3 to 6 months, maybe, just for a very short visit to say hello, to catch up and let him know how I'm doing. But I no longer need therapy. I no longer need antidepressants. As I said, I'm off all of my blood pressure meds, which I imagine my blood pressure being elevated was due to anxiety. I just feel really, may I say it? I feel really fucking good, and I wouldn't have it any other way. And again, if you're watching this because you're experiencing a lot of the same things that I went through, I am pretty darn confident that if you do what I did, it could really help you in a big way. Again, if you're not sure how to do it, just go back and watch the video called An Absolute Beginner's Guide to Microdosing Magic Mushrooms. It should answer almost anything, or a lot of the videos I have on this channel should answer a lot of your questions. I want to share that with you. I thought it was really important and a very, very significant time in my life. Until next time, I am Dr. Dave, and this is Microdose U. See you later.